e-FestivalPT está agora com Christian Ingebrigtsen, um dos candidatos a representar a Noruega na Eurovisão 2022, concorre ao Melodi Grand Prix com a canção Wonder of the World. So, hi, Christian, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Bernardo? Great to be on your show.
Me, I'm great too, and I have all the pleasure to have you in this interview. So, first of all, I know you are a very well-known artist in Norway, but I will ask you to introduce yourself to the Portuguese public. How did your career started? How was your career so far?
Sure. My name is Christian Ingebrigtsen, and by the way, your pronunciation of my surname was excellent.
Thank you.
I have a classical background, so I started as a classical pianist, and I studied music in Liverpool at the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts. And I started writing these songs, and my whole life, I guess, mostly in my heart, I've been a songwriter and composer, and so I didn't get anyone else to sing my songs, so I had to learn how to sing. And so I managed to nag the school into swapping from piano to vocals. So I studied vocals there and songwriting, and then I joined a band called A1 down in London. It was going to be A1. It was a boy band. I didn't even know what a boy band was, but it was I thought a great way to get into the music industry and meet people. And then that blew up, and we had several number one records around the world. And in the UK, we had 2 number ones, 8 top 10 hits, and won a Brit Award. And that sort of, kickstarted my career in a great way. And so then I released some solo albums from 2003 and onwards. And I've been touring and recording since. And A1, by the way, even though it's over 20 years ago that we started, we're still touring and doing concerts around the world. So I'm very fortunate to still live off doing what I love.
So talking about Melodi Grand Prix, you have a good experience, mostly as a songwriter, but also with a band, the A1. How different is being this participation now as a solo?
Well, it's very different. Obviously, just making the transition from being in a band to being a solo artist, I have some experience with that because, I've been doing both for so many years. But it's so much safer to be the songwriter and producer. Like you said, I've written quite a few songs for Norway through the years in my studio here in Oslo. Ulrike with Attention, when she won it, it's just a fantastic feeling to be the songwriter, because you don't have to worry if it doesn't win. It's okay, it's fun to be a part of it. But if you win, it's just a fantastic bonus. When you're the artist, it's kind of lonely, actually, sitting backstage when you don't have the band with you, especially when you're used to having everyone, along with you as a team to face both the downsides or the upsides. And but on the other, end of the scale, it's also it gives you freedom in a way, because you get to decide and make all the decisions yourself. About how you want it to look and sound, and it's very much me. And so this time around, there's no compromises. This is me. This is a song that I love, and in a production that I think is great, and it looks the way I want it to look. And so it's definitely a way of expressing my artistic expression the way I want it. It's an advantage, but then again, if it doesn't do too well, I've only got myself to blame. So
but do you feel somehow extra pressure being solo?
Yes, absolutely. The pressure is obviously if you get criticism, or Eurovision brings out the best and the worst in people. It's you get a lot of net trolls, people writing both horrible things, but also people who write wonderful things, and you have to sort of stand in that storm on your own, if you like. And having a small record label as well, and having represented previous artists, in previous years, I've seen firsthand as the record company the kind of things that people write. And I have to tell you, I don't understand the psychology behind someone who feels it necessary to go into an artist who worked really hard and to bring out their art into this world, to write a negative thing on it. Like my mother taught me, if you don't have something positive to say about people, just don't say anything. But with the added pressure of having to read both the upsides and the downsides, I've learned from over 20 years in the business that the worst thing that can happen if no one cares, if no one comments anything. So if people really don't like what you do, there are going to be people who really, loves what you do. There's people in the world who hate the Beatles and hate Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, but these are some of the greatest artists in history. So, you just have to put that hat on and think, okay, so now I'm looking at this from all different angles, and hey, I like what I've done. And the chances are, if I really love something, there are going to be other people who love it as well. So I'm just grateful to still be able to do this after all these years. And Eurovision is also one of the few great platforms still for artists to showcase their music. There are so many TV shows like for artists around the world where you either have to do something you can't do, like dancing or cooking, or I've done all the TV shows about stuff I can't do, or you get to sing other people's songs, or, in other genres that you don't normally operate in. So Eurovision is a great way to platform your music and get it out there to more potential listeners. So for me, it's not, the goal, obviously, I'd love to win. It would be great, but the goal wasn't to win. I've said to every artist that I've written for in the past, and I said to Ulrike when she won in 2020 as well, that, let's not try to write a Eurovision winner. Let's just write a song that gets your talent out there and shows off your voice and maybe builds your audience. And if we win, it's an added great bonus. And I've treated this the same way with myself. This is a song that just shows off me, the way I write, the music that I like, where the song is in the center, without all the added stuff, which I love that, by the way, when artists have a great show and it's got all the costumes and the fireworks and stuff. But what I love the most, my favorite Eurovision winner of all time, is when Portugal won it a few years back, with that just beautiful melodies, just beautiful song. And the music did all the speaking. So I try to represent a bit of that with my song, where it's just a melody that I love and a lyric that hopefully moves people. And it's just me around the piano, and that's it. That's what you get. So that's what I want to represent. And hopefully the people who like that kind of music will like my song.
So speaking about your song, Wonder of the World, what can you tell us about it? What is the meaning? And is there some story behind it? And what were the inspirations?
Yeah, so I've traveled the world in my career, and I've seen some amazing places. But I've always thought all these amazing experiences and wonderful places I get to see, they don't really mean as much if you can't share those experiences with someone, with that special someone you want. I wish I could, I got this amazing suite in a hotel in Shanghai or whatever, wherever you are in the world, you want to be able to share that moment with someone. And then my dear friend and co-writer Michael Oakes, who my dear friend, and we've been writing songs together for over 15 years and traveled the world. And we've actually been to a lot of the places we sing about in the song, to Petra in Jordan, Jericho, New York, Rome, all these places through work. And so my girlfriend last year said to me, "Hey, Christian, you got a lot of great love songs, but all of them are about love that doesn't go too well." And I was like, I've never thought about that. It's because before I met my now fiance, I guess I didn't have many positive love stories to write about. And it's all been about love that's not returned or love that doesn't go too well or something like that. So I took that challenge on. I said, well, if I wanted to write a song for my fiance, what would it be? And I had this melody lying around. I'll tell you a little secret. When I wrote this melody, when you get an idea, you always record it on your phone, and then you got to name it something so you remember it. And when I don't know why, I was looking through old ideas and I found this melody, and I had labeled it Eurovision winner, which was pretty amazing. So I thought, oh, well, I have to use that melody. And I spoke to Michael about the idea of traveling around the world, and really, there are no greater wonders of the world. You can see all the most amazing wonders of the world, but the greatest wonder of them all is love. To love and be loved in return. That is the biggest miracle ever. And so we started writing the song about our experiences, about how we traveled to all these places, and nothing really compares to having that special someone in your life.
Was this your only option for the Melodi Grand Prix, or did you have add more possible songs?
No, I did have 3 songs that I sort of considered entering the competition with, and actually, "Wonder of the World" was not one of them. It was a song that I'd written for my new album that was just lying there, and it wasn't completely done yet. So I was working here in my studio, and my good friend Henrik Thala, who some people might remember having co-written the song for Kaino, Spirit in the Sky, sorry, not Spirit in the Sky, was the name of it. Anyway, no, the Kaino song.
I think you are correct.
Was it right? Yeah. So anyway, so he co-wrote that song, and he's a great producer, and we'd written a song together that we were working on in the studio here. And I was actually accepted into the competition with that song. But then I had another song that I kind of liked more personally, that I'd written in Nashville. But then I thought, if I can't decide between the two, maybe none of them are right. And I said to Henrik, hey, I started writing this song with my dear friend Michael. What do you think about this one? And Henrik immediately loved it, and he had some great ideas to finish the song. And then when we had that song, we were all like, hey, this is the one. And I entered that song instead, and NRK thankfully agreed it was an even better song. And so, yeah, it was a bit of a process, but I think, to me, the what was stopping me from entering the first couple of songs was that perhaps it felt a bit like trying to be something that's not 100% me to please the Eurovision audience. They were up tempo, they were fireworks, and they were, party songs, and I wanted them to, to feel excited, and I wanted to have the winning song. But then I realized, hey, trying to write the winning song is probably not the best strategy, even though they're good songs, and I'm sure they could have done well. I wanted this opportunity to show off me and who I am as an artist, even if it, maybe even gives me less of a chance of winning. I wanted it to be just, hey guys, this is what I want to do for the rest of my career. This kind of music is Christian Ingebrigtsen.
To be authentic is the most important thing in any arts.
Yeah, as you Portuguese have proven before with your Eurovision winner, and I think you're absolutely right. Being authentic is the only way to have longevity and to have a long career in the music industry. Because music, at the end of the day, is about emotions, about feelings. And sometimes, yeah, it's great to make people want to dance and have a party. That's fun too. But if it's too calculated, and if you're trying to manipulate people's feelings, people see through that, I think. And at the end of the day, I wanted to go with something that I know really makes my emotions go, and then the chances are it'll move someone else as well.
Speaking about the contest itself, apart from the results and the competition, what are your expectations for MGP? What do you think you can add to the festival as an artist, and what do you think you can the contest can add to you?
Well, I'll start with the last question. What it can add for me is just a great way of showing my music to a larger audience, or people who wouldn't normally listen to my music, who might discover the stuff that I do. You get a lot of press, and automatically in Norway, you get into all the media and that kind of stuff. So that's positive. But what I can add to the competition is what I mentioned earlier, is hopefully the element of the song and the melody itself speaking for itself, and that element of the competition, where it's just a strong pop song with a positive message of love. Of course, I also bring a lot of experience. I realized that now, after a few of the contestants have gone out of the competition here, I'm the oldest one left. So with over 20 years of experience, I can add some of that as well as a professional artist. And I think that's important for Eurovision, because for a lot of years, especially here in Norway, there's been some stigma attached to Eurovision, and you wouldn't get serious artists entering the competition. But that's changed over the last 10, 12 years. It's really made a drastic change here in Norway, where you get some of the credible big artists entering because they can see the value of Eurovision, how it brings your music out to such a great audience, not just in your own country, but potentially throughout the whole world. But then, having experienced artists who've been doing this for a long time, entering the competition is also good for the Eurovision, because it brings it more credibility and makes it more of not just the crazy party element, but actual music and the musicianship and artistry into it as well.
We already watched you on the stage for the first time last Saturday. 2 questions. How did you felt for this first performance? And can we count with some changes for the final?
Well, thank you. I felt it went okay. It went well. I actually had a very rough voice leading up to that semifinal. So I was the night before with needles and acupuncture, so I was very worried, and my voice wasn't 100% there. Saying that, I think it went okay. It went well, and it was a good performance, but I still have that extra 10% that I will hopefully add in the final. When it comes to the changing the performance, I don't think I want to change it too much. I liked it very much the way it was. I liked the lighting and the smoke and the cloud I was on, and the shots in the background. I love having my string players with me, and I think it'll stay pretty much the same. But obviously, I've got a few more weeks now to prepare my voice to make it 100%.
I hope you can be at 100% in the final. So you already told me that you liked Salvador Sobral Portuguese song that won Eurovision in 2017. But my question now is about Norway. Norway, as you know, has a big history in the Eurovision and won it 3 times. My question is, what is your favorite song of Norway's history in the Eurovision?
Good question. I think I'll go with Secret Garden. When and Rolf Løvland is a big hero of mine, because when I was growing up, the first year I was allowed to stay up long enough to watch the whole final was 1985. I was 8 years old, and Norway won that year. with Bobby Socks, Let It Swing. And I'd already started dreaming of becoming a composer. And so when I read that it was Rolf Løvland who had written it, I became a fan, and a dream was born then that one year I will have written the song that represents Norway in this competition. And then we know Rolf Løvland from a lot of projects, but then of course Secret Garden when he won it as part of the band himself, and also he's written You Raise Me Up and tremendous songs like that since. So I think that would be my absolute favorite Norwegian entry. And I'll just add as well, like there are so many songs from Norway that didn't even make the final that I remember and like a lot throughout the history. So I think Eurovision brings out so much good music, and it's a songwriting competition, which I love. So it makes people write new music, and it's just a very productive thing for everyone in the business. So and obviously we're all big fans of Alexander Rybak, with just a great song. I think we all knew the moment we heard a Fairy Tale, we knew, okay, that's going to win. It was just that fantastic song. So I don't want to take anything away from his amazing reputation as a legend of Norwegian Eurovision contenders.
So last but not least, this is your interview. So I will give you all the time now to send some message for your Portuguese or international fans. Whatever you want, the time is all yours.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on, and I'm so excited about doing an interview with the Portuguese media. So I just want to say I really hope that I get the chance to represent Norway in the Eurovision. And even if I don't, please check out Wonder of the World, which I think is one of my favorite songs that I've written. And hopefully it can inspire love in some way or form. Maybe it'll inspire a proposal, or just a romantic evening, or even traveling the world, because you can find love out there by traveling as well now that things are opening up. So that's it. I just want to say thank you very much, and hope you enjoy Wonder of the World.
Tak, I hope to pronounce it well. Thank you, tak, in Norwegian. So thank you for the interview, and lykke til for the Melodi Grand Prix. Good luck. I don't know. I don't know if I pronounced well, but
it was perfect.
Thank you. So thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you to you too. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.